Islam. Islam Dwayne Bey. It is October the 6th, 2018. Islam. I just woke up, so my face is really, really puffy. Islam. Good morning. It's going on. It's either about 8 a.m. or a little bit after 8. I'm Rhonda Arrington-Bey. Okay. I was just scratching. Let me see here if I can breathe. I just woke up and had some coffee, so I am not looking too up there. Okay. Dwayne Bey. I want to start off because first of all, I want to give you an experience I had. Okay. An experience that I experienced. Give you a story of an experience that I experienced when I first came to Annapolis, Maryland. Okay. And I was working at Burger King, and still is, as of today. It's October 6, 2018. So, one day, this is probably approximately a few months after I had started working at Burger King. I know it was hot. Approximately, I'm saying. I can't remember. I know I documented, but it's been a long time. It's been over a year. And I would like to say possibly 2 years since this happened, or a year and a half. But I was working at Burger King, and this black male came into Burger King, and he was just singing so loud. This is in Annapolis, Maryland. And when Imani and I had just came here or arrived here, we still don't know anyone personally here, and I say that we have not implied we want to get to know anyone personally here. That includes the co-workers that we work with, the managers that we work with. We try, and I encourage Imani say he does, to keep everything general, professional, and respectful. Okay. As Hebrew Muslims, we don't know anyone personally here, all right? We have not implied that we want to get to know anyone personally here, okay? So, I was at Burger King, and I was working, and this black male comes into Burger King. He's he looked like he was about 5'7", heavy, a little obese, came in sweating profusely, singing how he or we going to get this soul. So I'm thinking this was probably about a month and a half to 2 months after I started working at Burger King. I mean, he was singing loud, so loud, and it was like he was doing a ritual inside of Burger King. Nobody seemed to be shocked. I mean, I was shocked. But I was working, and I was trying to, we had just got here, and I'm like, what is there something, why is no one else looking at this man, the managers or anyone, like something's wrong with him? I mean, he walked to the back of the Burger King singing, then he came to the front, and then he stood in front of one of the co-workers. His name is Abdullah Muhammad. And he was just singing and talking to him. And Khalid Abdullah Muhammad was just smiling, So, anyway, and then he came back. I don't remember Khalid responding, but he was just smiling. So then he kept walking around. Once again, he was sweating profusely like he was possessed, singing how he or we gonna get this soul. Okay? I was amazed. I was like, what is going on? Now at the time, I had thoughts of spirits and stuff like that, but I have never been exposed to such implied mental imbalance as that of what I just saw. As what I saw that day. Mental imbalance, just, and no one seemed to be surprised. Then what really surprised me is that male, because he came back to Burger King several times afterwards. He in that day, if I remember correctly, I'm not, but anyway, he had a Army emblem, ARMY emblem, on the back of his pickup truck. Many of the regulars that sit at the table either have Army on their license plate. Recently, I noticed some of them have changed their license plate or do not use that same license plate that had Army, but they had the same numbers. So I was surprised, because usually the same people that come in there, they have either ARMY, the same numbers. But I've noticed one guy, his license plate don't say Army anymore, but the numbers are still the same. Let's see. Or I've seen odd behavior from those that have the MIL, which I looked online. That was implied that's connected to the Navy. But many of the regulars that come and sit all day long, almost, or for hours, seem to be connected to the military, the United States Army or the Navy. So when this black male came into Burger King, after I had only been working for Burger King, not long at all, new to Annapolis, Maryland, singing and sweating profusely how we gonna get this sold. He stood right in front of Khalid Abdullah Muhammad, and you would think he would be like, "Sir, are you okay?" Khalid, but he didn't say anything. He just stood there smiling, like just sort of smiling silently, at the guy. And the guy was smiling, as in like sort of just standing right there in front of him, just smiling like, "We're gonna get this sold. We're gonna get this sold." That's it. So I'm not putting any blame on Khalid Abdullah Muhammad. I'm just giving testimony, because mistakes. I don't know what So anyway, I don't know why he had his own reasons for doing that. It's just like when he sprayed pepper spray or mace inside of Burger King. It was either pepper spray and mace, or mace, or either one in Burger King. So I don't know Khalid's state of mind. I don't know him personally. I try to keep everything general. So I just so I don't know why Khalid didn't back away or say, "Sir, do we need to get you something?" Cause I was looking like, I'm a new employee. I'm like, what's going on? What is wrong with this male? What is wrong with him? But anyway, let me continue. So because once again, Khalid Abdullah Muhammad one time sprayed mace or pepper spray inside of Burger King. At least that's what he admitted to one day, and the whole store had to be cleared out for a moment, and I coughed, sneezed afterwards for days, and it was horrible, because I didn't know why, what had happened, but anyway, it is what it is. And so he is still working there, working at Burger King as of today. I worked with him yesterday. Yesterday was October the 5th, 2018. So anyway, so let me continue. So in reference, and I'm telling you this, Dwayne Bey, in reference to spirit, and this is not to pick on Khalid Abdullah Muhammad. I'm just giving testimony. I don't know why he didn't step back. I don't know why the managers didn't come and say, "Sir, are you okay? Why are you singing so loud in this store?" Once again, I was new to Annapolis, and I was just happy to be employed. So I don't know why a manager didn't come and say, "Sir, can you quiet it down?" And are you okay? Nobody said anything. It's like he was doing a ritual, walking around Burger King. And once again, he had the Army emblem on the back of his pickup truck. Dwayne Bey. Now it's 9 minutes. I'm gonna continue. I haven't been what's the word? Knowledgeable of spirit, and so I want to, as like I am now, and I'm still not that knowledgeable. I want to give testimony, okay? Because I was just, you and I through tweets, I have said so many times, if I'm not your wife, go ahead and have the National Grand Sheet give me a call or text me to say, please don't use Dwayne Bey's picture or on social media or claim to be his wife anymore. Okay, give this man respect. All right, he has a woman. Okay, I have said that so many times, so I'm going to say it again. It's October the 6th, 2018. Okay? Now I'm going to continue. One of the things I would like to say, Dwayne-Bey, in reference to spirit, because Abbas Malik Bey, my son, as you know, had came to stay with us, and definitely spiritually he was being attacked. He was being attacked in New York. He left to go live in New York in the year of 2013. He came to stay with us the second week of August of 2018, this year. And he 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, had to leave because he was being attacked spiritually and was behaving outside himself here. And I could see what he possibly experienced at the age of 14, because he was 14 when he left to go live to New York, and 19 when he came back to me. What he experienced possibly in New York, but had no one to call upon for help, and had no idea what he was experiencing. So he was just a soul being preyed upon, okay? Preyed upon and literally trying to be ripped apart spiritually. Ripped apart. Used. So one of the things I want to continue to speak about is so he was removed from where we lived today about a week and a half ago. So I was trying to think of how can I connect with you, Dwayne-Bey, and knowing that possibly you knew, because I've been connecting with you all this time, what Abbas Malik Bey, and not just him, but many young souls, spirit men, women, have experienced. But I'm around in this northwest of Mexico, but I'm going to speak of Abbas Malik Bey, my son. I have two sons, Imani Gray Bey, which is 24 years old, and Abbas Malik Bey, who is now 19 years old. His name is Beye because his father's from Senegal, Dakar, Senegal, and Bey for Imani Gray Bey came from when we were naturalized under the Moorish American National Republic. We received the paperwork from Moorish American National Republic, but we have not finished correcting our status by getting our IDs with our ancestral names of B-E-Y, not B-E-Y-E. So I was like, how can I give honor to my son and still stay connected to you, believing that I'm your wife, Dwayne-Bey? Because I know, or my spirit not know, is telling me that you knew what Abbas Malik Bey could have been experiencing or would experience, or why he is in New York. But you didn't tell me, and I had no idea. And even when I was down here, I'm here exercising, staying connected to you, going through different trials and tribulations. It was never spoken, because I had no idea. I didn't know. When I spoke to him on the phone, I thought something was odd, but all I can say is he wasn't himself. But I had no idea to the extent his mind was invaded. The different sacred parts of his mind was invaded so that he can be used to be something other than his true self. That Allah, that true self Allah he is. Bringing him down, like these unclean spirits like to say, come down to something unclean and filthy in spirit. I had no idea. So I'm gonna start again and back up a little bit. So after he left, so yesterday, I would say I was trying to think. I don't know if I'm gonna stay connected to Bey. I read your tweet that you pinned up there, and it looked like you showed a line of pictures and how did when you would count the 365 days, the 345 days, 365 days a year in reference to you and I. And I was like, okay, well, then you said something about you were selling your, if someone wants to talk to you, they have to pay $40 for consultations and dealing with spirituality and other things like that. Okay, so anyway, let me back up. All right, Dwayne Battlefield Bay's spirit and purity is so complex. I am not a teacher. I am not a teacher, and nor am I trying to be a teacher. And I am not claiming that I see and I am a prophet or I can prophesize. I am not. I am not. But what I want to do is show you some of the things that I found very subtle, but signs. These were signs that I saw that were subtle, but real signs. When my consciousness changed, and I was in Georgia, these are subtle signs that that my higher self was showing me. I'm going to start off there. This was in the year 2012. All right, before I went to New York to live in the Washington house. Okay. I was at this place called Roots to Fruit. It's a place, this is a gathering or a group that would come together and they would sell natural foods, and you would see a lot of lots there. And I didn't know much about it, but when my consciousness changed, my thoughts, I learned from my aunt about it. But anyway, they were having a gathering. And I remember I decided to bring a basket with me and the money to this gathering. And I was sitting down. There were a lot of lots there. People were talking, speakers that speaking about the public school systems and so forth, and the different issues. Conscious blacks that have not reclaimed their nationality were there, and then you had the locks. So those that had long locks and selling natural food or food that vegetarian food. And so you had people. A lot of times when I would go, I see the Jamaican flag. So definitely Jamaica was represented. So I'm assuming Jamaicans were there. But I just looked at the flag and like, okay, no big, I never thought of anything. So I remember while I was there, I was sitting down waiting for the next speaker to speak. His name was Omar Johnson. I think Omar Johnson. And I was, Abbas had left. My sons had left to go to the bathroom. And this is an outside gathering. And I think there was a full moon. And it was in the summertime. This male or man came, and he had this cane. And the cane had a head on it. Okay? I don't know what kind of head. It was similar. I want to say like a goat's head, but it could have been something else. All right, it had gold pearls for the, red rubies for the eyes. I saw his locks, if I remember, because I never looked at his face, but I saw locks. So his locks had to be long past his way, like to his thighs. Okay, because I was looking down and I just see these locks flowing. All right. And he had this cane, and it was elaborate cane, okay? And he said, can I sit down right here? There was a chair right next to me where my sons left. I didn't look up. Someone just told me not to look up, and I just said, I'm sorry, this seat is taken, And he said, okay, and he walked away. I didn't even look up to see his face. But I saw these long, I just saw the long, they looked to be grayish locks, okay? But I don't know, I don't know why, but I was just like, someone just said, don't look. I did not look at his face, but I saw the locks. Okay? Locks meaning hair. One sign. The second sign. So that was something, and I left that day. Before I came to North Carolina, I was pouring libations constantly to my ancestors with my son. And I just had this I've told you this before, but I just wanted to use Jamaican rum. I want to use Jamaican rum to cleanse north, south, east, and west, water, wind, fire, and earth. Not to drink, but I wanted to use Jamaican rum, and also I will pour it to the ancestors. I never had a craving to use Jamaican rum before, but I definitely wanted to use Jamaican rum. I had to get the Jamaican. I didn't even have much money, but I went and got the rum. I think it was like $14, and I would pour it all the time before I came to North Carolina. I go to North Carolina, and so that's another sign, subtle, and I didn't understand what spirit was trying to tell me, because this is spirit talking to me with is in me, all right, giving me signs that I didn't have the eyes to see or have the sight. Now I had the eyes to see, but I didn't understand the sight that was given me. Subtle, but still there. So spirit, okay. So then I go to North Carolina and I marry you. And where are you from? You from Jamaica. Never married or never dated a Jamaican before. Never dated a Jamaican before, ever in my life. Okay, so I'm going to continue, because these are subtle signs that I'm bringing to you, Untitled-Bey, not to pump my chest up, because I am a humble being. I'm not going to pump my chest up, but I feel that Allah's spirit, when I'm able to attune, whispers, and I'm learning to listen. Okay? So when I arrived to Maryland, Untitled-Bey, I remember I'm downtown. I'm in Annapolis, but we first stayed in Baltimore for about 3 days, 2 to 3 days. And I don't know, we were waiting for the bus or the train, and I just felt the need to clean up the area. There was trash all over the ground. I had a bag. I was cleaning up the ground. This is earth here, okay? I know people looking at me, mostly, I think all would be on the status of black or African American, Negro. They're like looking at me like, what is she doing? My spirit said, clean up. So I was just picking up the trash. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. And I threw the trash away. I had only been in Baltimore for a few days. We had because we were trying to figure out where we're going to go to continue this journey. Now I'm going to go back to New York. When I go to New York. When Imani and I decided to move to New York, and before we came to Baltimore, Untitled-Bey, because these are once again subtle signs that spirit gives me, and not just me. I think, and I'm not pumping myself up, and I see this is a sight that spirit gives to spirit men and women for a reason, a soul. So I was in New York, all right, and right before I came to Maryland, we were staying in a shelter, but the shelter was on a bay. There was sort of like a bay. Okay, not sort of, it was a bay, but there was this grassy land right there at the bay. I had the need to we'll go out there and pour libations. Okay, once again, I had Jamaican rum sometimes when I could. It was right before I left, I had Jamaican rum. But we'll go out there and pour libations, and I would walk in 4 directions, 7 steps in 4 directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and give honor to our ancestors and pray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give honor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No one taught me this. This is just what my spirit was telling me to do. Okay? With my son, Untitled-Bey. And we'll do the Moorish American prayer. Okay? While I was there, I also would go out there one day. I did it one day. I just felt the need to read Revelations in the Holy Bible to reveal. I read the whole entire book of Revelations out there on that grassy land. Spirit was just moving me to do these things, even though I was under a spiritual attack that I have never been under before in my life. Remember, Untitled-Bey, in 2015, while I was in New York, was the first time I started to feel that my genitals were being attacked spiritually. Never in my life has this ever happened that I was consciously aware of. And it was happening so much I could not even keep up. So this was in 2015, and this is right before I came to Maryland. Subtle signs that the spirit Allah is giving me. And yes, even there, I was cleaning up, picking trash off the ground constantly. Trying to, not constantly, but trying to, with Imani-Gray-Bey. I run the Arrington-Bey. Picking trash, trying to cleanse Mother Earth. So then I come here to Annapolis, Maryland. First I went to Baltimore for 2 to 3 days to figure out where we were gonna go. Okay. Then I come here. I'm giving you a timeline, short timeline, of just some of the subtle signs, Untitled-Bey, that I see that I did not see a few years back, because they had the book is opening for me to see. So as I started to in Annapolis, okay, and you and I are trying to connect. I'm staying connected to you on Twitter, but I'm experiencing these spiritual attacks. There's issues with it keeps these thoughts, telepathic thoughts in the universe about something that the woman that you live with and that you love have issues. Some of the Moors have issues that you stay connected to me. And it's the energy is out there. If you are going to stay connected with me, then there's a certain devaluing that must be done, because obviously this is what happened. Excuse me. A certain devaluing that must be done to make sure I know my place as a spirit woman. So that could happen through allowing attacks to happen towards my sons and allowing attacks to happen towards me. Because possibly there was, like I said, I never experienced spiritual attacks as they increased through the years until, and it started 2014. And then I would hear sometimes sharp tones, whether they were in my ear or outside the ear. And then the spiritual attacks through the attacking of the vagina. And now I'm experiencing spiritual attacks where what we are among unclean spirits are able to induce pain to the head, the chest, the feet. So these are different forms to cause a spirit or soul, if possible, if allowed, to break down. And all the while these are going on, these unclean spirits are saying, he loves peace, or Don't worry about it. He loves her. He loves her. Don't worry about him, because he loves her. So what I'm gonna do, Dwayne, is show you, not show you, but give you another thought that came to me. Spirit talking to me. You see, I always kept, when I first came here and I was connecting with you, I remember I was just pleading with you to see something, because I didn't even know all the things that I was experiencing and why. I had no idea, but my spirit was just pleading, because I look up to you so much and I see this great being. I remember in North Carolina, New York, I said, all it takes is one powerful more or so can knock down a generation of unclean spirits. Just knock them down like dominoes. That's standing on righteousness, that has the courage to represent those divine energies in its purity. And I kept thinking and hoping and looking at you, you know, I was like, this man is wonderful in thought. Okay, so when I came here, I was like pleading with you without even knowing why I was experiencing certain things. Why am I experiencing these unclean attacks? But my spirit was just pleading. I remember I put on Twitter of a woman on her knees down. But the attacks didn't stop. And yet the energy was still out there to try to uplift the woman that you claim to love, that's living in your house. I don't know where she's from. People say possibly she could be from Australia. I'm not sure. She could be from Australia. I have no idea. And tell you the truth, I don't care. All right? I'll just leave